Hi, my name is Brian James. Now for over 50 years I've been a photographer. I've enjoyed taking photographs throughout that time since I was a small boy. In this series I'm going to try and share some of the hints and tips that I was given by the masters of the art at that time to try and give you a start in photography. This series is aimed at the beginner. It's aimed at those who are just getting the camera for the first time, maybe never used a camera before or only used your mobile phone. Join me, I'll try and get through some of the jargon, try and get through some of the mystique of photography and make your journey an enjoyable one and a productive one to take great creative photographs. Welcome to this video on how to get better as a beginner in photography. Now if you've been watching this series all the way back in the second video, I said to you about using the auto mode. And the reason I said that was the tech in the camera can do some amazing things. You can override it, and that's where some of the creativity comes in. But before you can really experiment with creativity, you need to know how to take a good photograph in the first place. So as I said, put the camera on auto. Let it do the hard work at first. But once you've got to this point, stop thinking about the tech. Stop worrying about what's inside the camera. Don't worry if it's got a 20 megapixel or a 30 megapixel or a 50 megapixel sensor. Don't worry about how many focusing points it's got, anything like that. Let the camera just do its job. Your job as a photographer is to get an image. So what I always say to people on this one is, don't worry about the tech, worry about the subject. So if you're taking a photograph and you nicely see it in front of you, if you're worried about all these faffing about with technology, you've possibly missed what you needed to do. That's what you should have pre-done before you take the photograph. So for me, I get my camera set first, whether putting it on auto or one of the other modes. I make sure I've done that first. Then I go out with my eyes usually looking towards the subject matter. What's going to look good? How does the subject go together with the background? How does the foreground and the background work? I look at the composition of the photograph. And at that point, I bring my camera up my eye, hold it properly, and hopefully what I've got in front of the camera on the picture in my eye is pretty much what I wanted from the subject in the first place. But if it's not, then that's when you can start using some of the other techniques which we'll come to as the course goes on. But we're not worried about turning knobs, we're not worried about pressing buttons. The camera is an auto, it's going to try and do the best job, but what we're doing is to try and get the best shot. Now that best shot may not be able to be seen in the camera. It may be that it's too far away. It may be that you're too close to it. That's when you'll start using your zoom on your kit lens to alter around if you have a zoom lens. But basically what you'll want to do is to worry about the composition. And this is where a lot of new photographers get messed up. They're so worried about getting the camera settings right. You can do so much on these modern cameras in post-production anyway, so we can retrieve an awful lot. But you can't retrieve a photograph if it hasn't taken the subject you wanted in the first place. So when you go somewhere and you're looking at photography, use your eyes to look at the subject long before you worry about what the technology in the camera is. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, there's a little PayPal link below if you want to support it. Drop me a note for a cup of coffee. Give me a big thumbs up. That helps YouTube to spread it to more people. And also if you hit the subscribe button and there's a little bell beside it, hit the bell and tick the all beside it and that'll give you notifications every time a new video is uploaded. But until the next video, this is Brian James. Hope you enjoy your photography. See you next time.